Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Daemonhunters, where I'm sure the question that should be on everybody's lips is, now that Jingles has researched the source of the bloom and identified it as coming from a derelict Eldar craft world located in the heart of a mini warp storm, is he going to have the balls to send the Marines in there and investigate the source of the bloom? The answer to which is of course not, but that's not the question on everybody's lips. The question that I'm sure is on everybody's lips is this blithering idiot finally going to remember to equip his grenades on his grenadier, Purgator Thule? Well, the mission that I'm about to embark on had the glorious deed of win the mission without using any grenades, and I thought there's no way I'm going to do that. Purgator Thule does like to... Oh wait, hang on a minute. Why is that spot blank on his equipment loadout? Let us investigate this further. War gear slot, no. Grenade slot, there it is. You see, you can all stop now with the remember to equip your grenades on Purgator Thule comments, although I suspect it's too late at this point. It's now become a meme. It's now achieved the same status as actually Jingles and my misidentifying ships in World of Warships. So yeah, fair enough. I've got no one to blame but myself. I did bring this on myself. I am kind of concerned though that Purgator Thule's equipment slot still appears to be empty, despite the fact that I did just equip the grenades, didn't I? Maybe I should double check. No, it'll be fine. Actually, in this mission I'm trying him out with the silencer heavy weapon for the first time. Up until now I've been using the side cannon, but I finally specced into the silencer discipline. We'll see how this new weapon works out.
Destination located. The Cult of the Seven Miseries has been spotted within this war zone.
Nurgle's minions clearly seek out places where death and decay are most rampant.
More fuel for the fire of the bloom. We must stop the seeds from taking root here.
Okay, so a fairly simple mission. There are just a couple of seed carriers that need to be eliminated, or extract the seeds. Either works. Nothing nasty, no bloom spawns, no bloom spreaders, nothing particularly dangerous. And the first patrol is actually pretty close, although the seed carriers themselves are further away. Alright. So, Iolanthus is up first. Initial movement, fairly straightforward. The trick is to try to initiate combat with the team nice and close together so they can all actually support each other. And I am anxious to try this
What is your will?
new heavy weapon out, the silencer.
Moving out!
Up until now I've been using the side cannon, and the side cannon's alright. It just suffers from a bit of a lack of range. It doesn't have any better range than the storm bolters that the rest of the team are equipped with on their power armor. It can do a ranged area of effect attack though. So you can target something at the maximum range of the weapon, which is only 10 spaces, but then you can do a blast area of effect attack at that maximum range, which can technically, because it's a blast attack targeted at maximum range of 10, you can theoretically then also injure enemies caught within the blast beyond the maximum range of the weapon, but it's still just a relatively short-ranged weapon. Ooh, hang on a second. That patrol is standing right next to a plasma cell. One well-placed grenade or storm bolter shot could hit all of them. So normally I would not move Iolanthus this far up unsupported. There's the patrol, a blight hauler, that's not good, and a pair of cultists. And I was hoping to catch them all within the area of effect of those plasma cells, but the second Iolanthus spotted them, they all scattered. So, shit. I was not expecting that to happen. So what am I going to do with Iolanthus? The other seed carrier is heading away from this engagement, so I'm going to force strike this one cultist to take it down. Iolanthus doesn't actually increase the warp meter when he uses his psychic abilities, and he gets the willpower point back for getting the kill. Now then, Purgator Thule. Move him up to there, and he will only have one action point left. You see, if I was still using the side cannon, I would have moved him up to there, had one action point left to do something, but the weapon wouldn't have had the range to do anything. This thing, on the other hand, no problem. Plus, this special ability, the Disrupt Shot, which I'm not going to use because I don't actually need to, interrupts whatever the target is doing, whether that be Overwatch, Suppressive Fire, channeling a Warp Surge, whatever. It's basically a ranged interrupt, which is not something you can do with a side cannon. And because Purgator Thule is using a master-crafted silencer with extended range, and he has spent talent points to extend the range further, his silencer has a range of 21 squares. Okay, Apothecary Hahn cannot actually reach those guys from here with his one remaining action point and his grenade. So he's just going to set up Overwatch. That's something else the silencer can't do either, which would be absolutely absurd. If you could put ranged Overwatch down at a range of 21 squares, that weapon would be absolutely ridiculous. Now then, Intercept the Storm. If Apothecary Hahn couldn't reach them with grenades from there, he isn't going to either. He's got one action point left. There's a Poxus Seed around the corner. I'll worry about that when I'm not under attack. I'm just going to put him in cover. Now, these guys should go for Iolanthus. They did, but that's alright. That's fine. He's wearing Terminator armor. And that idiot Blight Hauler walked right into the plasma cells anyway and blew all of its own armor off. Iolanthus has taken some damage. This is fine. He's a big boy, he can take it. Okay, so the seed carriers are not moving any closer. This is good. Right. Intercept the Storm. Actually, okay, he is covered by Overwatch, so we're going to come back to Iolanthus later. We need to deal with the Overwatch first. First, Purgator Thule is going to shoot the cultist. And then he's going to fire again and kill him. Actually, no, first we're going to do a Disrupt Shot. Here we go. On the Blight Hauler. This will interrupt the Overwatch. There we go. It's also hurt it. And we'll finish off the cultist. That's his 3 actions. And killing the cultist recovers the willpower point that he spent to use the Disrupt Shot on the Blight Hauler. Now then, Iolanthus. The thing about the Blight Haulers is they do a lot of damage, and they have a shit ton of armor, but they don't actually have a lot of health. So if you can do an attack that bypasses their armor entirely, you can actually kill them very easily. So using Iolanthus' Hammer Hand basically guarantees a crit. Unfortunately, I get an armor break, but that's not the same as armor piercing, so I don't get to bypass its armor. Which is a shame, because if I had gotten an armor piercing result on the crit, that would have killed it in one hit. But I didn't, so I will have to hit it again. But now it only has 1 health remaining, so that's 1 dead Blight Hauler. Still have the 2 seed carriers to kill, and 1 additional enemy patrol has been detected, which appears to be moving in the direction of that group of seed carriers over there. Okay. Well, the mission is to kill the seed carriers, or extract the seeds. Speaking of which, there is a Poxus seed just lying around over here, so I'll send Apothecary Hahn over to extract it. Thank you very much. I'll move the rest of the boys up with Apothecary Hahn lagging slightly behind because I sent him off to pick up that stray Poxus seed, and then I end the turn. And then I get bounced by the patrol, which includes a whole bunch of lesser Poxwalkers, a Poxwalker, and a Plague Priest. Now, my normal tactic would be to just send Intercept the Storm in and carve everybody up, but the Plague Priest just disabled his melee attack. However, I have a solution to this problem. Because while the silencer doesn't have a ranged blast area of effect, it does have a short range daka area of effect. This scatter shot. However, if I were to stand behind Intercept the Storm and use it, it would hit him too. And the Plague Priest at the back of the line would be out of the 7 space effective range of the scatter shot, but if I move Purgator Thule up in front of Intercept the Storm, I get to do that. Which is nice. Using the scatter shot does drain all of the ammunition in the weapon, however. So I'll go ahead and reload. Unfortunately, well, first of all, these bloated pock-walkers do tend to explode a bit when you kill them, unless you can somehow disable the explosion by getting a crit. And Interceptor Storm just had his melee disabled for this turn by the Plague Priest at the back, but that doesn't mean he can't still shoot. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The pock-walker can explode over there if he likes. It's no skin off my nose. And he still has 2 further actions, which he can use to also eliminate the Plague Priest. So, yeah. 2 Marines just took down an entire patrol. I'm really starting to like this silencer weapon. I'm feeling like the rioter who bust into the gun shop at the beginning of RoboCop and picked up the Desert Eagle. I really like this gun, man. Where'd you keep the bullets? Right, we've lost contact at the moment with everything other than 1 group of seed carriers. All the way back here. Yet, I know that there was... Oh wait, that was it. There was a seed carrier in that group. Ah, I just mowed them all down with the silencer, didn't I? I should have used a free action to extract one of the seeds with the extract the servo skulls. Ah well, whatever. I'm not exactly short of Poxus seeds at the moment. This is fine. So, here's the Warp Surge. What's it gonna be? Your Knights suffer -1 max hit points for the remainder of the mission. I mean, the Warp Surge is never good, but that could have been a lot worse. Plus, I think, at the moment, I'm researching something that gives all of my Knights 1 willpower every time there's a Warp Surge. So you can actually turn the Warp Surge to your advantage. Although, I'm not sure that actually encouraging Warp Surges is a good long-term tactic. Let's just put it that way. Right, let's get the boys together. Apothecary Hahn bringing up the rear. Oh, and once again we have been bounced on the enemy turn. So that appears to be some kind of Plague Marine. I didn't get a look to see what weapon he was carrying. And a Blight Hauler. So, which one of them is carrying the Poxus Seed? It's the Chaos Marine. Oh, hang on a second. A Plasma Cell. Now, the Blast will strip some of the armour off the Blight Hauler. But there was an unintended consequence. I didn't actually realise there were a pile of oil drums there as well. So, they are now all burning. And burning damage bypasses armour. Before I forget though, I'm going to send a Servo Skull out to get that Poxus Seed.
The threat of the bloom has been contained, but I sense more of Nurgle's minions on the way. We should recover your brothers. And my seeds.
That has ended the mission. But the forces of chaos have 2 reinforcements, which means I now have 2 warp gates to worry about, which are going to be disgorging reinforcements in 1 turn. And I have 3 turns to hold for extraction. So I've got bad guys coming from 3 different sides. So let's not fight all... oh shit, and a patrol. Bollocks. Okay, I am going to use the Gate of Infinity to get my boys... I want to be real careful here, I don't teleport anybody into that fire. Get my boys over here to the Blight Hauler and the Chaos Marine. That's good. Happy with that. Purgator Thule. Yeah, the scatter shot. Iolanthus is in the way. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, it's burning. It's going to take 2 damage per turn. Yeah. No, I'm trying to click on Iolanthus. Come on, rotate the camera. Iolanthus. I could hammerhand it, get a crit, maybe. Armor break again, not armor pierce. So whatever, we'll do it. Yeah, 1 more strike will finish it off. The Blight Hall is down, and he should have 1 more attack. I can hit the Marine without stepping in the fire. Purgator Thule can just shoot him now, I suppose. No reason to do a disrupt shot, the Marine isn't actually channeling anything. And again, and that will kill him. Right, so now there is no threat to our backs, and we can turn the boys around to face the incoming reinforcements, and potentially also that patrol. Actually, you know, it just occurred to me. For all the fuss that I've made about not equipping the grenades on Purgator Thule, I have not actually used any grenades at all with him on this mission. In fact, the glorious deed for this mission was to win it without using any grenades. And I didn't choose it because I thought I always use grenades, and yet I haven't used a single grenade on anybody yet in this mission. Oh, and I got the patrol as well. Fantastic. Which includes a Blight Hauler. This Chaos Gate is about to open. We have a bloated Poxwalker, some other Poxwalkers, and at least one cultist with a ranged weapon. Okay.
Target acquired.
And the other Chaos Gate. So oh no, a Plague Marine and God knows what else. More Poxwalkers. So the bad news is I got all three enemies on this turn. The good news is I do kind of like the way that that group that came through the warp gates are all clustered together. In retrospect, I didn't need to move Iolanthus back here. I should have left him up there to deal with the Blightwalker. Because I didn't need to move him over here to intercept the storm with a warp charge buffed Honor the Chapter, which I'm going to back up also with the Quicksilver stratagem. So, Intercept the Storm now has an additional point of willpower and 5 additional action points. And we're going to put that to good use with a teleport strike over here to kill as many of these guys as possible. And that's everybody who's in range. That is not going to kill the bloated Poxwalker, which is good. I mean, if I warp charge it, it still won't kill it. As long as I'm not standing next to it when it explodes, it's all good. Unfortunately, the warp charge isn't actually going to be able to kill it. It'll take out 3 of the Poxwalkers, but not the bloated Poxwalker. Okay, he got an action point back. He has a 50% chance of recovering an action point used every time he teleports.
Advancing. Executed.
I'm going to shoot the bloated Poxwalker. No, that's not going to do anything. It's actually in hard cover. Fantastic. Well, not an issue. As long as I'm not next to it when it explodes, he still has enough action points. He can kill this guy. No, don't shoot him. Hack him up. Move over there. Now he should have a line of sight to the bloated Poxwalker. Although he still has 4 action points left. Yeah, I'm going to hammer hand to crit the Marine. An armor pierce? No, we'll go for crossbow stun. Hit him again. Force strike and it will still leave him on 1 health. There's no point in spending the willpower point. And then we finish him off. And now I can turn around and shoot from a safe distance the bloated Poxwalker. So his pestilential explosion isn't actually going to hit anybody. How many action points does he have left? 1. I can shoot, but that won't kill the cultist. I'm just going to use his Aegis shield, or I could teleport away, actually. Still has plenty of willpower. He got so many kills there, he's back up to full willpower. Where can I teleport him to that will be good? There's good cover there, that will do. I mean, he doesn't... No. I don't need to teleport there, I could just walk there. I'll toss the grenade. I may as well use them. I haven't accepted the glorious deed to not use grenades. So that damages the cultist and blasts him further away. Now, Purgator Thule. See, there is an environmental thing over there I could use to do area of effect damage, but it requires that you be within melee range. It's not something you can shoot. Grenades, however, I can move him up to here. He's in reasonably good cover, and I should, yes, I can hit both of them with a grenade. It won't kill either of them, but it will strip a whole bunch of armour off the Blightwalker and knock about the cultist, or Poxwalker, whatever it is. Oh, and there were more oil barrels over there, so the Blightwalker is now burning. It's going to take 2 burning damage per turn. Unfortunately, that isn't going to be enough to kill it. And the burning damage does bypass armour. So, with another grenade, I can kill the Poxwalker and strip the remainder of the Blightwalker's armour, which is good. But now I need to follow it up with an attack to kill it before the end of this turn, because armour regenerates every turn. If I don't kill it now, it's going to get all of its armour back, and I can't actually move Apothecary Harn up far enough to be able to do anything, so I'm just going to put him into cover. And unfortunately, it's now the end of the turn. The injured cultist gets a couple of shots off at Intercept the Storm and then sets up Overwatch on him. That's fine, he can teleport out of Overwatch. The bad news is, this guy just got all of his armour back. And he does take 2 burning damage, but he had at least 3 hit points remaining, so it survives. And this fella takes some pot shots at Purgator Thule, but he's in good cover, and he succeeds only in removing the cover. Right, my turn. Apothecary Harn. I don't think I actually need him to do anything. Let's have a look. Justicar Iolanthus. Okay, he only has 1 willpower left, so he can't use Honour the Chapter or anything special. Where can I move him to that's going to do some good?
Your orders?
Purgator Thule. Scatter Shot. That's going to use all of his ammo though. Sanctified Kill Zone? No. Another grenade? You know what? Yeah.
Target acquired.
The grenade doesn't knock the Blightwalker around. It's too heavy. It's immune to knockback. Now, the scatter shot would probably be enough, but I can just shoot it. That's disrupted the Overwatch for one thing.
Inflicted.
And now we can finish it off. Now it no longer has any armour.
Reload required.
Right, he's now out of ammo, but he's recovered some willpower for the kills. There's one cultist with what looks like a heavy stubber over there. Iolanthus can move this far and then shoot him. And that should be enough to kill him. He's low on health after the grenade. Oh, it won't be enough to kill him unless I boost it with a side bolt. The one remaining willpower point that Iolanthus has. He gets the kill, he recovers the willpower point. Back to Apothecary Harn. I don't actually need to kill this cultist with Apothecary Harn. I can do it with Intercept the Storm. But, you know, why not? Intercept the Storm can just teleport out of the Overwatch and kill him. And that's it. Hold for extraction. One more turn. We have killed everything. I can just end the turn.
All active Astartes recovered. Beginning teleportation.
Right, mission complete. It wasn't that difficult. Although, to be fair, eliminating seed carriers is probably the easiest mission type, and the corruption level on that planet was trivial. So, let's check out the mission rewards and see if we're going to get any promotions. Now, we didn't do the Glorious Deed because I did use grenades. But we got all of the seed carriers, so there's 2 requisition. I got a Grimoire, which is going to help with Inquisitor Waifu's research. And the armory access stuff, it's all tier 1. I don't know if I... What does this do? This knight's Aegis shield grants +3 armor. War gear, it's not terrible. This knight has +2 armor. It's a Terminator armor suit. +1 move speed. No, you know what? I'm not going to waste the requisition points. I don't need any of this stuff. Now then, promotions. 1 promotion for Apothecary Han. Alright, it was a good job I did get that final kill with him, otherwise he may not have earned a promotion. So, 2 ability points. Servo Skull upgrades. This knight has an extra war gear slot to equip Servo Skulls. This will also lead to the unlock of the Apothecarian Skull, which means he will finally be able to actually heal people at range instead of having to run right up next to them. So, yeah, we're taking that. And this time, because it turns out it is actually possible to teach an old dog new tricks, we're going to remember to actually equip the new equipment. Aren't we, boys? No, not the Medicae skull. Anybody can equip that. You want the Apothecarian skull, which is the ones that only an apothecary can equip. Although the Medicae servo skull does also come with the ability to purify any afflictions that you have, which is not something that I've actually managed to unlock for Apothecary Han yet. So that's something to look forward to in the future. Oh, 2 days and we get the bloom suppression. That's something that Inquisitor Waifu is currently hard at work on and will reduce the amount that the warp surge meter rises by 5% every turn. 2 days and that's unlocked. That's going to be very, very useful. I believe it only affects planets that are covered by your prognosticars, however. So let's head back to the star map and just check. So I don't actually have any spare prognosticars, but you can see with the prognosticar attuned there, it affects the bonus. It spreads it around to all of the adjacent connected planets, which is good because the planet that I'm heading to, I probably wouldn't have been able to reach in time without the prognosticars slowing down the spread of corruption on that planet. Plus, that planet is heavily corrupted. I believe it has an effective, well, it has an effective corruption level of 2, but it has an actual corruption level of 4. But because the prognosticars cover that planet, it reduces the effective corruption level, makes the mission easier. Bloom suppression research is complete. So, from now on, the warp surge will increase 5% slower every turn. So that's good. Now, what can I research? Well, this is going to give me 1 more stratagem slot for a total of 3, but I only have 2 stratagems researched. So instead, this is much, much better. It only costs 1 Poxer seed. And now, this Tides of Escalation research means that every time the warp surge goes off, all of my Marines get a willpower point back. So we're going to go ahead and put Inquisitor Waifu to work on that. That's going to take 24 days. And then we're going to get this show on the road and head to the final location that I'm actually going to be capable of getting to in time during this current bloom outbreak. And that in the next episode. I hope you've enjoyed this one. And as always, be pure, be vigilant, behave.